Hey everybody, Eric Songer here with you, and here is what's happening in the Chaska Middle School West weekly band podcast. And it is great to be with you here today. I think for the first time in maybe 2 years, I missed a week with the podcast, and I have a really good reason for that. It has been just a crazy, insane, fun time going on the last couple weeks, and I literally just did not have time to record this podcast. So here I come to you on Saturday, May 11th, 2019, and I was just going to do a little bit of a recap of what's been going on these last couple of weeks because it's really been a blast. So as we go back, a couple weeks ago, I kind of traced this crazy period back to Easter Sunday and the week after Easter, as we had a lot of things going on that week, a lot of preparation for stuff coming up the week after, but also started things off with I adjudicated a jazz festival in Farmington, and it was a really great event because it was a lot of the great jazz bands from the southern part of the metro area that participated in that event, and also in addition to that, there was a great lunchtime concert which featured members of the Airmen of Note. And the Airmen of Note are, in my opinion, just one of the very best working jazz bands in the world. And maybe working is the best word because they are the Air Force Jazz Band. So these are members of the Air Force, and they just sound phenomenal. So they had a jazz combo out at Farmington High School, and they gave a concert for the lunchtime period of the festival. And right there, I'm like, man, if this is a sign of things to come here the next couple of weeks of craziness, and then I'm pretty pumped up because that was an incredible performance. And then you add in all the great high school bands that played that day. It was just a phenomenal day. So anyway, that has nothing to do with our Chaska Middle School West Band program, so I'll get into that. So the very next day was our trip with our 7th grade band to the Mid-Level Band Festival in Edina at Southview Middle School. First of all, just an incredibly run program by Chuck Wise and Megan Palmer, and then Geneva Fitzsimmons over there in the Edina band program, was at Southview for many years. I'm just so impressed with the things that all of them do over there, and the priority that they give to their students, both is in the lines of music and just the love and kindness they give those kids. And so it's definitely an inspiration for me and an inspiration for our students then to go out there and perform and be part of that atmosphere. And we had a wonderful clinician, got to hear some great bands, and I was really proud of our 7th graders for doing a really good job. So that was a really nice time, really good festival out in Southview Middle School in Edina. And at that same time, my colleague, Ms. Idell, was getting the rhythm section together to go to the UW Eau Claire Jazz Festival. And they got to see an incredible concert that Friday night featuring Grace Kelly, who was out here at the District 112 Jazz Festival back in February, as well as New York Voices, an incredible New York-based group. And they got a chance to hang out in downtown Eau Claire, which they make it look like New York City back in the 1930s. And they have jazz coming out of every coffee shop, restaurant, and club on Friday night. And so the kids got a chance to do that, go to that great concert, which also featured UW Eau Claire Jazz 1, which was also out here in our district back in March. So a lot of what comes around goes around, or deja vu moments, I guess you would say. And to complete that, the very next day, when I joined the group out there, the Airmen of Note were out at UW Eau Claire, and this time the entire band, and what an amazing concert. Just looking back, that was phenomenal. They gave about an hour-long concert that day. In addition to that, also, our rhythm section group played great. I was so proud of our kids. They did some of their songs we've been doing all year, our Scott Bradley covers, our covers of Scott Bradley's songs, which are covers, I guess you would say. Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Focus we did, and then also Herbie Hancock's Watermelon Man, and the kids just knocked it out of the park. They've been doing a good job all year on those tunes. And we got to have two great clinicians, one being a good friend of mine, Matt Canzera, who got to work with the band, and it was so great to hear Matt give comments to my students in such a kind and loving way, and also giving them stuff to work on. So, Matt, you're one of the best guys I know, and just a wonderful clinician. So, I was really excited for our students to get such a positive experience with that. And on top of that, we won a saxophone because we attended clinics, a lot of cool clinics that day too, and they draw cards of people who attend clinics, and we got an alto saxophone. So sweet. So thank you to UW Eau Claire Jazz Festival, Mr. Baca, and everybody who runs that festival. It's just a phenomenal job. While all that was going on, we had some students performing in the MBDA Regional Second Year Honor Band over at Chanhassen High School. And I want to congratulate all 10 of the students that we nominated for that band, and some of them were selected to perform. Let's see if I can do it off the top of my head here. It's late on a Saturday, so but congratulations to Antonia, and also Caleb and Josie and Davey and Emmett, and congratulations to Harrison and Brianna, and congratulations to Sam, and then also Connor and Sophia. They were all nominated for the regional honor band. So very, very cool. And so all three of those events going on at the same time. So that takes me to not this past week, but the week before that. And one of the most inspirational, life-altering weeks I've had as a teacher. Two major events that I guess I'd fairly say that I've never really gotten to experience at the level that I did. First of all, I got to go accept a grant and travel to do it. And I've been able to do that once before. It was actually, gosh, when that was that now? 5 years ago, for the ING Unsung Hero grant. Now, Voya Unsung Hero is the company now. And they flew me out to Las Vegas to accept that grant and do a presentation for their national convention out there. And that was super cool. I was one of 3 teachers to go out there, and I got to meet the other teachers who are doing amazing things. And got to meet with their board and talk about their program, and just super neat just to be treated almost like a rock star, because I'm a music educator and that's not usually the way we get treated. So but that was super cool. But this was I think almost to another degree, this was the Give a Note Foundation. Give a Note is basically a nonprofit that is supporting innovation in music education. And just a couple years ago, they started a new program where they selected 4 or 5 teachers every 6 months to receive a $4,000 grant, and then a trip to Nashville to receive the award, and then a trip to speak at the national convention. And I was fortunate enough to be one of those chosen this past spring, and truly honored to get that award from Give a Note. And went down to Nashville to early Tuesday morning, and first of all, got to start my day by meeting with a former student of mine who graduated from Belmont down there, McKenna Rish. Shout out to McKenna Rish, one of the greatest students ever. Talk about kind and loving and hardworking and talented, and always thinking of others before herself. McKenna's one in a million, and it was great to get together with her before all the events that I did that day. But yeah, we had lunch, and one of the really cool things about this event was I got to meet with Sarah Minette, who used to teach out here in District 112 at Chaska Middle School East. She went on to get her PhD and now teaches at Minneapolis South High School, and she was also one of the people selected for this award. So what are the odds, right? 2 people that used to teach in District 112. Well, one that still does, because that would be me. But really, really cool to connect with Sarah again. I mean, we both live here in the Twin Cities and never see each other, but we got a great chance to talk. And then all these other 7 music educators. Man, there's so many cool things going on in the world of music education, and I am just learning every day about new things and new ideas from some tremendously talented people. And to just be around those people all day that day was terrific. We got to go to the Country Music Hall of Fame, got to hang out in Nashville, and then had an incredible banquet that night at the Music Works in downtown Nashville. There was another program going on that same night at the banquet run by the Country Music Association. that Give a Note joins with to give out these awards. And there were more music educators being honored that night through CMA. The event was held, like I said, at Music Works, and it was hosted by Dierks Bentley. And what an amazing guy Dierks Bentley is. I've always enjoyed Dierks Bentley's music, but to hear him speak and to hear how much he values music education and the time he gives, the money he gives to support music education, I have a whole new uh, pedestal that I put Dierks Bentley on. What a wonderful man and a wonderful musician, and a bunch of other country musicians there that night. Other people in the industry, like I said, tons of great music educators. The Give a Note board, the CMA board. It was just really, really fun to connect with a bunch of people that night. And I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I could have connected with more people. There's only so many people you can. There were great videos and stories of students that had overcome odds to do great things through music and because of music education. Some of them were there that night. We saw videos. It was just inspiring video, inspiring speech after another all night. So incredible time. It seems like a dream now, like a blur, because the next morning I flew out really early again to get back, because that brings up the second big event that we had last week, and that was our Chicago trip with the Garage Band. Now, I've done trips before. I've done overnight trips before, but I've never done a 4-day, 3-night trip more than one state away as a music educator. And I know for some music educators that's drop of a hat, no problem, easy. And it's not that I never wanted to do it. I just didn't have a huge desire to. But I want to thank my sister, Terry Jo Fox, who works for Bob Rogers Travel, who said, "Hey, brother, why don't you take this group of yours somewhere? That would be a really cool experience for your kids, and just open people's eyes to what's going on here in music education that's different than the traditional stuff." And so I did it, and I should say we did it, because it took a lot of people. We went Thursday through Sunday down to Chicago, and accompanying me on the trip were our co-directors for Garage Band. That would be my wife Heidi, and Scott Prescott from Pioneer Ridge, Chris Stauffer, and then my colleague Maggie Zidell. And we had 4 wonderful chaperones, and then a ton of other parents that shadowed the tour with us. And then we had 28 students, which consisted of 3 bands. We did 3 rehearsals with each band leading up to the tour, and we were ready to go on Thursday morning. We loaded that bus and headed down to Chicago. When we got down there, we went to Navy Pier for our first stop and just kind of hung out at Navy Pier for a little bit, and then hung out at the hotel swimming and just chilling out after a long bus ride. And then Friday was an amazing day. We started it by going to the Chicago Recording Company, which is a great recording studio down there. Shortly before we arrived, Chance the Rapper had just gotten done with a session. They gave us a great tour and some great information on what they do there, how things work, and the kids got a chance to play a little bit on the microphones, play a little bit on the piano, and just experiment a little bit with the recording process. So super cool experience for them. That was followed up by Hard Rock Cafe in downtown Chicago, where we ate lunch, and then each of the 3 bands got to perform their 4 songs. After that, we quickly loaded the bus, headed on over to what's formerly known as the John Hancock Building, went up to the 94th floor, where they now have the Chicago 360 tilt, where they have an observation deck, and you can actually tilt yourself at an angle a little bit overlooking the skyline, and many of our students had a chance to do that. And after that, we did a performance up there, which was a little bit like, why are we performing up here? But it was actually a really cool crowd. It's a much better crowd than we had at Hard Rock, and the crowd was all right there, and many of them stayed and watched a great portion of our set. Like I said, we had 3 bands, each performed 4 songs, although we only did 3 up there because we had a little bit shorter time period. But super, super cool experience to be playing as you're overlooking the lake and the Chicago skyline on the 94th floor. After that, we went back to Navy Pier, had some Chicago-style pizza at Giordano's, and then we all got to go to CIBC Theater downtown and see Hamilton. And I'm wearing the shirt here. I'm scrappy hungry. Or as Mr. Prescott would say, old, tired, and ornery. And now I can say I've seen Hamilton, and it definitely lived up to expectations. We definitely enjoyed the performance. The next day, we spent the first half of the day at Six Flags Great America and performed there as well, and went on amusement park rides the rest of the day. And then after a little bit, we went over to Andy's Jazz Club, saw a great band called the Soul Message Band. Got to talk to him a little bit, had a great dinner, and hung out at this really cool jazz club that allows middle school and high school kids in groups like this to attend. So that was a neat experience. The following morning, got up, went to Millennium Park, went to have lunch at Pinstripes. Saw another incredible former student of mine, Emma Nelson. And again, another huge shout out to Emma Nelson, one of the greatest people I've ever taught. Super talented. Again, represents everything about kind and loving and inspirational. So really, really cool to see Emma down there. She's at DePaul, finishing up her freshman year. I also got to see a childhood friend of mine, too, that I hadn't seen for literally like over 30 years, so that was super neat. But again, I'm so proud of our students, so proud of our families, so proud of my co-directors, chaperones, the travel company, Terry Jo, our bus driver, Carlton, our tour director, Kevin. We just had a really, really good time. And I encourage you to go on to my YouTube channel, Mr. Songer's channel, and check out the footage of the trip, both performances and pictures. Pictures actually mostly on Facebook and Instagram. If you go follow Chaska Middle School West Music, or on Twitter at CMSW Band, you can check out some of that stuff there. So anyway, so that's why I didn't do a podcast last week. It was literally like Tuesday morning, get up, go to Nashville. Wednesday morning, get up, fly back to Minneapolis, pack and get ready for Thursday morning, get up, get on the bus, go to Chicago, basically going 24/7 until we got back late Sunday night from Chicago, and then just do this 5-day work week. So this has been my first day where I've just really been able to chill. Anyway, that's been the last 2 weeks. I just wanted to kind of go through that and thank the students and just thank all of you for your support. Also this past week, I should shout out a couple things too. The mariachi band played at Azteca and did a wonderful job Monday at that. So that was kind of funny, after all that stuff, we come back and then performance the first day back. Very proud of the mariachi band. And then Thursday, we had Dan Musselman come in. Dan is a keyboardist, composer, arranger, worship leader. Talked a little bit about music theory with us, talked a little bit about songwriting, keyboard playing pop songs, the technology around it. So it was really cool to have Dan come out and talk to our students. And we had an event. Pop Ensemble was supposed to play at Taste of Chaska on Wednesday, and it was rescheduled due to bad weather. And quite honestly, I'm kind of glad for that, because I was already like totally overtired all week, and my kids were actually giving me a hard time about it. But now I'm good. I'm much better after a day of rest. So I won't be as loopy. I'm sure some kids would rather me be more loopy. But I also want to give a shout out to several donors to a Donors Choose project that we just had funded. We just got a soprano saxophone, or we'll be ordering one and getting it shortly. And a huge thank you to Cheryl Curtis and Alan Wright and Kate Wright and Pam and Bill Wentink and Linda Sleeper and a couple other donors that don't live in our community. Just really grateful for your kind and generous donations for that soprano sax. Super cool. And we did order some items with the Give a Note grant, the $4,000, and those things will be coming. Those things include a computer, a MIDI controller keyboard, Logic, some more microphones, another drum sample pad. So some really cool things coming our way there too. So. And then our mattress sale money, we're going to be getting a couple instruments with that as well. Some more school instruments, so that kids who are on free and reduced lunch can have instruments. So that's another cool thing. Thank you to our PTO for approving a new instrument storage shelf for our band room. We're going to have about 50 more kids in band next year than we had this year, so we're closing in on 400 kids in our band program. And we need places to keep instruments, so thank you to PTO for that. All right, so what's coming up next? Whew. Busy week ahead, fun week ahead. Tuesday night is our spring band concerts, and here's the schedule. 8th graders need to be at CMSW at 5 p.m. because we're going to have a catered spaghetti dinner, and that will be followed or we'll have performances at the dinner by the what's the name of the wind group now? I always forget your name. Rose and Quartz. Rose and Quartz is going to be playing. Sorry, Anna, Max, and Jeannie. Remember your names. I just don't remember your name. Rose and Quartz. And then also our Woodwind Sextet will be playing as well. We're going to have a great slideshow. Ms. Idell and I will say a few words. It'll be a great way to thank everybody for a great 3 years. And then we'll do our concert at 6 o'clock in the gym. 7th grade, your concert's at 7 o'clock, and 6th grade, your concert's at 8 o'clock, and those are in the large gym too at CMSW. Attire is for 7th and 8th grade, look nice. Nice shirt, nice pants. Guys wear a tie. Girls, if you'd rather wear a dress, that's cool too. Any color goes. 6th graders, we're wearing our music shirts and dark pants. And for 7th and 6th grade, you should be there about 20 minutes before your concert starts, and the concert will last about 40 minutes, so you'll be there about an hour. You can use help setting up after school if you're available, and also need help with filming the other concerts if you're available for that as well. So that's on Tuesday. Wednesday, the Pop Ensemble is performing at 5 o'clock at Taste of Chaska at City Square Park, downtown Chaska. That's 300 East 4th Street. And we'll be playing by the Gazebo, and that'll be, again, from 5 to 6. Pop Ensemble kids should be down there as soon as you can after school for setup, sound check, and it's going to be a great gig. Can't wait for the Pop Ensemble to do their first gig of the spring. Should be really neat. And then Friday is our 8th grade band tour. We're going to UW Eau Claire. We're going to be meeting at CMSW at 7:30 in the morning, and so that's earlier in the school day, so we'll need to be there early. We'll be taking a couple coach buses, and we'll be heading down, or over, I guess, to Eau Claire, where we will have lunch at Hilltop Cafe at 10:30, and then we'll be listening to the Pioneer Ridge Band, who's also going, as well as CMS East, but we'll be hearing Pioneer Ridge play at 11:30 in Gantner Auditorium at the Haas Fine Arts Center on the campus of UWEC. Right after that, at 12:30, we will perform in Gantner and also get a clinic. And then at 1:30, we'll be doing a campus tour. And at 2:30, we'll load the bus and head over to Metropolis Fun Park. And from 3 to 7, we'll be at Metropolis. Dinner will be at 5 over there. But from 3 to 7, in addition to eating dinner, you can ride the go-karts, go to the water park, jump on the trampolines. They have mini golf, they have laser tag, they have arcade games. So lots of cool things going on in Metropolis to do for those 4 hours. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll load the bus, head back, and arrive back at West at about 9 p.m. on Friday night. So that's going to be a great trip as well. It's fun thing after fun thing around here. 2 guest speakers coming this week. We have Rob Frost, who actually produced our Rhythm Section EP back in March. He works at the Garage. He also does some other production work. He's going to be talking about being a studio engineer, doing music production, how to do it on your device. So if you have an iPod or iPad, iPhone, bring that with you, and he'll give you some great ideas on how to do things on there. So that'll be really cool. That's during Win 1 on Wednesday, by the way. And then during Win 2 on Thursday, we have the one and only Kenny Holman coming out. Kenny, probably best known for being in a group called the Hornheads, which played with Prince all through the 90s, up pretty much all the way till he passed 3 years ago. And Kenny teaches in our area. He actually teaches a couple of our students at CMS West and at our high schools. And he'll be talking about playing saxophone, improvisation. It'll be for all of our saxophone players and anyone else who wants to come to that. Again, that's during Win 2 on Thursday. It's a regular 5-day week this week. Friday's a B day. 8th graders won't be there. We'll have a sub on Friday, Ms. Idell and me. We have regular bonus lessons this week, regular win times this week. Win 3, by the way, we're going to do a big picture with all the kids in band that live in my neighborhood. So over here in Liberty Heights and Crimson Valley, we're going to take a picture at West and then walk over to the park, over to Morris Park over here by my house. And we'll take a picture over here. And then you can just go home from here because it'll be like the end of the day. Unless you have honor band. Speaking of, after school this week, we have honor band Thursday. There is no pop ensemble Friday due to the 8th grade band tour. And like I said, we have, and there's rhythm section on Thursday morning. But that's it. It's just rhythm section and honor band this week as far as after school, before school stuff. And then just some things coming up to look forward to. Let's see, Thursday, May 23rd, we have a potential gig for the mariachi band at the district office for the Human Resources Department. They're throwing a party and would like to have the mariachi band come play. So if that happens, We'll probably be leaving West at 1:30, so we'll be missing the last 30 minutes of 6th hour block, and performing at 2 and getting done around 2:30, and then coming back to West probably around 2:50. So that would mean also missing Win 2 and getting back probably just a little bit late for Win 3, but almost right on time for that. So make sure you sign up for Win 3. So that's 2 weeks away still. Also in 2 weeks, we have the Valley Fair trip for any member in band member in grades 6 through 8 that wants to come march around Valley Fair and then spend the rest of the day there. That costs $24 unless you have a season pass, and it costs nothing. And there's a green form in the band room that you need to fill out if you'd like to do that. We also have the Memorial Day Parade that we'd like students to participate in. That will be on Monday, May 27th. Again, it's open to any 6th graders through 8th graders, and it will be in downtown Chaska. We'll meet down by the Co-op building, which is about 2 blocks east of the City Square Park on 4th Street, and we will march. The parade is about 3 to 4 blocks long. We'll meet at 9:30. Parade starts at 10. We'll be done at about 10:15 for that parade. So again, fill out that green sheet in the front of the room if you'd like to do that. All band members will be working on marching in a parade and playing the music after our concert on Tuesday. And so whether you can be there or not, you're going to get that experience. But that's how we're going to prepare for that. So if kids who are going to be there for that will know what to do, because we'll rehearse it during band. There'll be no outside of school rehearsal for that. And then also then that next week, as we look way ahead to the end of the school year, rhythm section's playing for an 8th grade party at 2 p.m. on Thursday, May 30th, right outside the gym doors on the east side of CMSW. We'll be outside for that. And then the 7th and 8th grade honor band's going on tour on Friday, May 31st, and to 3 elementary schools. And then we have our 8th grade second floor party after school Friday, May 31st, open to any 8th grade band member who wants to come. It's free. It's from 3:30 to 5:30. You can stay the whole 2 hours or leave earlier if you want. There'll be a DJ, music, pizza, movie, video games. Should be a really fun time. And then we have our honor band concert for all 3 grades on Monday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. at Chaska High School. Wow. It's been a great year. I just got done putting together a photo collage for our spaghetti dinner for the 8th graders. It's going to be awesome. It's 20 minutes of photos. Probably took me 3 hours to put together. I'm really excited to share that with all of you. It's got pictures going back to 6th grade, so watch out. But it's going to be really fun to look back, and I just noted on there like most of the events that 8th graders took part in this year. It's amazing. It's just amazing. You look back at this year, or even just all 3 years. Everything that you've gotten to do here in middle school is phenomenal. I'm just so proud of all of you students. It's amazing. I'm getting sappy. Summer classes. Sign up for summer classes. I'm teaching jazz band and marching band and movie band and beginning guitar, music tech, and mariachi band on Tuesdays in June and July at CMSW. I'm also teaching country bluegrass band and garage band on Wednesdays at CMSW in June and July. So you can sign up at ceforall.org on the community ed website. You can also do some summer camps, take private lessons, audition for GITSES or MYS or Minnesota Junior Wins. There's so many things you can get involved in here this summer and next school year. So come talk to me if you're looking for more opportunities and you want to keep going. And I know a lot of you do, so don't hesitate. So there you go. Again, I've noted the social media sites on Twitter at CMSW Band, Facebook and Instagram. It's Chaska Middle School West Music. And you can my email is songere@district112.org. There's so many ways to contact people. You know what I'm saying? My YouTube channel, you've got it right here, Mr. Songer's channel. Weekly podcast every week, except last week when I had no time. All right, I'm coming up on 30 minutes. That might be a record-long podcast. If you're still listening, you deserve a treat. Come to my office. I got chocolate for you. All right? Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. And I'll come to you next week. I'm going to try to do a podcast from Metropolis Fun Park next Friday in Eau Claire, like I did last year. We'll see if we can make that happen. All right, take care, everyone.